many corners by my house, I try to slide, you gon' get lost. Then pretty soon you gon' be found right by the detectives once they come to get you. And by the time that they make it, I'm out of state, I've been on my money mission. I heard y'all wanna leave me missing, so let's get it. I'm strapped and ready for everybody who want a piece of mine. Oh, listening to my music, she think I'm weak, let me get a little piece of mine. Says clear as day, Mook, I know you still got a few feelings for your ex. I said you right, ho, but you was never gon' get that chance for you to be next, bitch. It ain't no secret, my Britney think I'm creeping. She calls me off a chin when I never did none and she don't believe it. Got me stiff on all these hoes, I be so mean and for no reason. At the fight, I got back on the road, she prayed to God to stop my breathing. Crazy, my own city don't like me and I can't tell you why these young niggas hate it.
Start us off, you guys.
Pillars of perfection.
Huh? Who gonna start us off?
I was about to say, if you look on the casting couch, we got a new member. we got a special guest right here on the casting couch. Yeah,
That's wild.
yeah, reverse Oreo scene.
Wow.
Yeah, strong black,
So weird
strong
ass
Ebony get taken down. Yeah,
Keeping that.
I edit. You forgot I edit. I take all this shit out.
Nah, nigga. I'm editing this time. Nah, I'm lying. I don't want to do that shit. You got it. I'm lying like a motherfucker.
I said, bro, you gonna really do that?
Fuck no.
Yeah, man. Who's this unfamiliar face we got on the couch, man? Introduce yourself, sir.
It's Dave, as they know me. But nah, it's Emanuel. Happy to be here.
Her, man. We've been meaning to get you up here for a little second, though. Pause. We've been meaning to get you on the episode for a little minute now, man. You know what I mean? Seeing that you got your F gratification going on, man. What really, like, explain that for me.
All right. First question, can I cuss on here?
Yeah, you could.
Okay, all right, because you said after gratification, I ain't know.
Nah, you straight.
Well, I mean, to say it, word for word, it's just a phrase used exclusively by those with the ability to focus on long-term achievement and meaningful goals with or without immediate reward, approval, or praise. But, really, that's just the definition I gave for everybody to make it understandable. But to me, it's really just like, it's really just saying fuck instant gratification. I mean, instant gratification is kind of just like the bottom part of that definition, always wanting, immediate reward, approval, or praise. When a lot of times it's not what you need, man. You need to just stay locked in without that, because a lot of people aren't going to give it to you. If it's actually a meaningful goal, you're not going to get that up front. So fuck the gratification.
So what really locked you in to really just say, like, fuck the gratification?
I'm not going to lie to you. I came up with that shit at work. So this is actually funny. And the only reason I put, like, an actual definition behind it was because I realized motherfuckers didn't know what the word gratification meant. So I had to, like I said, make it easy and understandable for people. And I actually came up with I had 3 different revisions of that definition. And the final one, the first time I did it, I actually made that bitch on the toilet at work. And then the final one was after a conversation that I had with you. Sorry. And but what really made me come up with that was I made it for myself, really. It was really just a big internal conflict thing for myself, just, thinking that I needed, for all the goals that I have in my world, thinking that I needed people to tell me that, they're proud of me and all this and that. And it's like, in the real world, that's not what you're going to get. Like, you may want that, but honestly, if it's anything like worth chasing, nobody's going to think that you can do it anyways. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you have to be accepting of that. You have to, this is me talking to myself. You got to be able to say, all right, you want the gratification, but it's like, fuck it, because you're not going to get it anyway. So you have to, you got to be able to say, all right, I'm not going to get this shit. I'm just going to keep going with this shit, whether they fucking with it or not. Because if it's good enough, after a while, they'll say something about it. And then I, just kind of came to the realization, I'm not the only person who thinks like that. So I just kind of just put it out there.
I fuck with that. So can anybody, like, follow the fuck the gratification, or is it just like for a certain group of people with a certain mindset? You have to, like, really be like, it's like a certain selective group to be locked in with that.
I mean, from a physical capability standpoint, anybody could do it and live like that, but not everybody actually will take the time to practice that. You know, like anybody can do it, but it really takes a certain. That's why, you know, I said it's a phrase used exclusively by those, you know, with the ability and who choose to practice that. You know, you actually have to want to live by that. Most people don't. You know, if you look at the most successful people that you've ever seen, they've all been able to practice delayed gratification. That's all it is. You know, it's just another way of saying delayed gratification, just in a more aggressive way, a way that wakes people up. You know what I'm saying? And you really gotta be a different breed to actually practice that for a prolonged period of time. So, yeah, like, I mean, anybody could do it, but most people won't.
Are you starting merch with this?
Am I starting merch? That is the question, isn't it? That is the question. Yeah, I'm starting merch. Yeah. There's already some out, but you know, it's kind of just like a if you know, you know type of thing. It kind of goes back to what I just said. You know, being that not everybody will practice that. The way that I've been doing it is it's like a invite only type of thing right now. But who knows? I may open it up to the public soon enough.
So basically, what he's saying, bro, we into something deep, real deep. You got to be in it real deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Pause,
You got to be in it.
It's just something. It's something that you in. You got to really live by it, stand by that.
Yeah. For sure.
Sound that Illuminati to me, boy.
Hey, man. It is what it is, you know?
So the control vanity, man. Like, what really made you, you know, make that the headquarters? Yeah, the headquarters.
What does that mean for the people that don't know?
Control vanity?
Yeah, like what? Like yeah.
All right.
I'm people.
So, because I know y'all don't know what the word vanity means. So, not talking about y'all, just the people out there. If y'all ain't know gratification, I know y'all don't know vanity. All right. Vanity is just, I mean, you know what the word vain means? Just like kind of conceited, narcissistic, all of those synonyms. Thinking the world revolves around you, things of that nature, right? All right, so control vanity. The name was actually going to be something different. I don't want to say it, but I will say it for the sake of conversation. It was actually going to be called Destroy Vanity. And it's a cool name, but I changed it because, in my opinion, like, just because it's human nature, every person on the planet has some sort of, like, vanity within them. Like, you know, to some extent, because it is your life. At some point in time, you know, you think the world kind of revolves around you. At some points, like, you know, maybe not all the time, but at some points. Would y'all agree with that? Like, you get those moments where you're like, this is just, you know, me. Like, it happens. Like, everybody has an ego, right? All right. So, with that being said, I mean, let me ask y'all this. Do you think you can destroy your ego completely? Do you think that's actually possible to do? It's not a trick question. Like, just do you think you can? You think you can?
I already did.
Okay. Do you think
I think you can.
You think you can destroy your ego? So, I actually don't think that you can ever destroy your ego, nor do I think that you should. You know, because in a lot of ways, it's why would you want to? And like I said, this is just me like having a conversation with myself before I ever put this stuff out. Is like, I don't think you can really destroy your ego just because, like, it's always gonna be there, you know.
I feel like I'm not trying to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
When you had these same, you know, you had all these thoughts about it. Did you consider that ego and confidence are two different things? Like, did you ever put confidence into play? Because I feel like you can destroy your ego, but still be confident. You know, because when I think of ego, I think ego is like you feel like you're in a position and that position is owed to you, as well as confidence is more like I have potential to be good at this and I want to believe I can be good at it. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So do it correlate like that with you, or is it just like ego is one thing and we're gonna have that regardless?
Yeah. Ego is one thing, confidence is a totally different thing, right?
Yeah.
So confidence is built from doing things, right? Confidence is kind of built from evidence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have to build evidence in order to build confidence. You have to prove that you can do shit, right? The more that you do shit, the more comfortable and more confident you become in doing shit.
Right.
But let's say you've done shit so many times, right? Or you think you've done shit so many times, and somebody who's better at the shit that you were doing comes along and is like, you know, you're not really that good at it. Maybe you should do this. Deep down inside, all of us is gonna be like,
Ego come out.
You know, the ego comes out, right?
Yeah, that's where you get it from. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's not a matter of destroying that. It's more so it takes more character development to be like, you know, it's always going to be there. But in this moment of what's kind of just like an adversity, like you're getting punched in the face, you know, you can be like, I don't know everything. Okay. You know, I can be better at this. So that's where control vanity comes from.
I give you
versus destroying it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a more like self-developmental type of thing.
It's dormant in a lot of people. Like, say, like playing a sport. Like,
it's what?
Like dormant in a lot of people. After you do it for so long, it's like you don't necessarily got to be ego or not. I would say egotistical, but you don't have to walk around with ego because you've already proved yourself in that aspect, and you know how good you are in that aspect. So say like Steph Curry. Steph Curry can walk around with an ego and say he's this and that, but he doesn't because he doesn't have to. But if a challenge appears, it's a good chance that ego might come out naturally just because. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like it's to use that, you know, analogy. It's like, and bless his soul, and R.I.P. him. But like, let's say Kobe Bryant, right? Like we all like Stephen Curry is a great shooter, right? Yeah. But if Kobe Bryant comes along and is like, yeah, but you could probably do this a little bit better. Yeah. He could be like, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Like he can be like, you know, like fuck you. But if he's like, you know, he's kind of right. Like maybe I should do this, and it makes him better. It's like, well, you controlled your vanity. You recognize like, yeah, it's there, but let's keep this under control for a second, and what can we learn from it?
Right.
Yeah, it's like it's like one thing I really had to tell myself is, you know, I'm not good at everything, and most people who have these, all of it, like control vanity and fuck the gratification really go hand in hand, because it's like everybody, you know, says they have these big goals, right? They have these big goals that they want to hit, or whatever the case may be. But when somebody comes along and says, you are dog shit at this, now you don't want to do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're offended. But it's like, maybe they were saying you're dog shit at this, and maybe they were going to tell you, okay, this is how you can get good. And a lot of times, it's like, yeah, you can say some people are sensitive, but it's like, why are you sensitive? Like, an ego really is what makes you sensitive. Wow. And you can be, you know, sensitive to it, but you can also say, yeah, that hurt. Now let's figure out what the fuck this person's talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A lot of people aren't as optimistic. So for you to be the age you are, for us to be the age we are, and understand that and be able to, when somebody does come with an opinion or whatever and a suggestion, to maybe help or belittle you either way, rather than letting ego take over or vanity take over. Mm-hmm. You know how to control it, and you know how to, you know what I'm saying, maybe this might help, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which is it's hard to do. Yeah. Like, you're going to get walked over trying to learn how to do that. Or you might feel like you're getting walked over. It's all about how you think about it. So it's definitely not for the weak, which is why I can understand why it's more like an invite-only thing right now. But, yeah, bro, that's dope to understand that concept at the age you're right now.
A lot of these, really, in a lot of these, like, these aren't, like, new ideas. Like, it's a lot of these ideas came from this dude, Mark Manson and Ryan Holiday, two of like my favorite authors. One thing that Mark Manson says a lot is, you know, everybody tries to find all the ways to be right. It's like, if you just focused more on trying to find out how you're more wrong, you know, that opens up a lot more things for you. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? If you could figure out what did you do wrong more than what did you do right. Because like, what purpose does it serve if you found out, like, yeah, you did it right, all right, cool. You know, but if you find out you did this wrong, it's like, okay, now I realize I can do more. Does that make sense?
It
does.
You
know what I'm saying? Y'all get it?
People don't look to improve in weak aspects like they should. That's what makes a difference in a lot of people. I know all of us in this room pinpoint what we can do better. I know a lot of people who don't pinpoint what they can do better. And that makes a difference in society when you can locate where you're going wrong at, or whatever the case may be, whatever you're not happy with, and you can target that and you know, improve on it. Then, yeah. But again, a lot of people just ain't optimistic like that, bro. Y'all gotta control it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, when when you only focus on what you're good at, I mean, you never get better. And it's just another way of, like, blowing smoke up your ass.
Exactly.
They're too comfortable.
Way too comfortable.
Too comfortable, and then that's where the naturally the ego comes out too much.
Yeah, I mean, it just gets bigger.
It gets bigger, and people walk around overconfident.
Yeah.
That's how that shit works. I've seen it happen. It's happened to me. It's been a lot of situations in my life where I didn't think that certain things would happen to me. We talked about this before, but I didn't think that. You know what I'm saying? I could never picture it. Damn, that would never happen to me. I'm so and so. That could never happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I got the rug swept from under me, bro. But in that moment, I had to make a decision. Do I want to continue being this tunnel vision ass dude who thinks so simple minded, or would I? You know what I'm saying? Broaden my vision more, if you would say.
Yeah, broaden your horizon.
Yeah, broaden my horizon more. And I chose to broaden my horizon.
Crazy. My own city don't like me, and I can't tell you why these young niggas hate me. Same niggas I grew up with, they be the ones who